You remember the hippies? Remember them? You know, you ever seen like the old videos of the hippies at like Woodstock? Not Woodstock 99, that was us. But I mean the hippies, right? The peace and love. Don't trust anybody over 30. Fight the power. Flower power. By any means necessary. The revolution will not be televised, man. Whew. They've come a long way, baby. They've come a long way.
Regulate the internet? Absolutely. You trust the people that got us into the Iraq war under false pretenses to regulate the internet? Do you think that makes any sense?
Well, wait a minute. I would not. The people who got us into the Iraq war.
It's the government.
Was the politicians.
The politicians are the fucking government. You can tell. Like, and this is like, remember how I tell all y'all all the time, right? These elite liberals are not evil. They're just fucking dumb. And this is why, like, every time you talk to one, they're oblivious because they're surrounded by yes men, right? Whose jobs depend on them. Nobody ever questions their fucking opinion, ever. They've never had a real discussion in their fucking lives. They legitimately, all right, have had the government hand them everything their entire lives. They've never had a fucking hard talk and a hard thought ever. They're not evil. They're dumb. They're oblivious. They've been living in their fucking gated communities, right? And fucking been protected from the outside world and go to the same restaurants as all the other people with their same dumbass opinion. And they all go, oh, you look good today. No, you look good today. How's Johnny? Oh, man, he's a doctor now. Did he graduate from the University of, Mexico, Guatemala, whatever, right? Oh, he got his dentist degree from the Yucatan Peninsula. Good for him. Oh, your kid, he finally got off those drugs. That's great. These people are fucking dumb. They're not evil.
Government.
In the end, yes, it's the government. But who else is going to regulate?
But if they're going to be in power and they're regulating the internet, they're going to regulate the internet in a way that suits their best interests. The same way they do with the banking industry, the same way they do with the environment, the same way they do with energy, the same way they do with everything. No, what represents their interests? There's so much. You're talking about so much money involved in disseminating information in a very particular way.
Right now, or the internet companies are rich beyond belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they basically have a license to print money. They are literally upselling you electricity they bought from the electric company. Once they put the initial investment in, they're literally basically just upselling fucking electricity to you. Like, it's a legal way to print money. Number one, right? Number two, if you allow the people in power that have the power to control what it is that you see, you're giving them more power. Like, that sounds completely authoritarian and dumb. But again, these boomers have never thought of any of this because, again, they've lived in their gated communities and have never been fucking called out on the carpet about any of their ideologies.
It's but it's a disruptive thing that has never existed before. I think it exists, and I think where we're at is where we're at. I think we need to move forward collectively as a country with an ethic that respects truth and that it appreciates opinions and reality and an understanding of things that's not necessarily possible with corporate interest involved in dissemination of information.
But there's no way to do that except through the government. There's no way that you can do that except through the government.
Why is that?
Human nature is not going to change.
But the government's not going to change either.
But the government is capable of change. Okay, look, the government regulates.
The government is not capable of change. We have noticed this over the past 50 years. They have not changed. They continue to do the same dumb shit, even though it doesn't work. They're dumb, right? They're stuck in like a mode where they go, well, this doesn't work, but we can't eliminate this because we need these government job employees because they vote for us. They don't eliminate shit ever, right? They don't change. This is like half the fucking problem with government, that it grows and it never shrinks, right? Like when you have an outmoded part, they fold it into the old part. They fold it into something new. Like it's terrible.
For example, the food supply, or it can regulate. Let's take the
food supply.
Yeah, the Department of Agriculture.
Why have they let glyphosate infestate all of our foods?
Let's take one thing.
Yeah.
Again, they've never thought about any of these things, right? Also, the Department of Agriculture also thinks that sugar is great for everything, and high fructose corn syrup is a good idea. And standing here and subsidizing our corn supply and our corn feed is also a great idea. Like they're terrible. They're awful, horrible, fucking. They're terrible at their jobs. Like, what are you talking? We went through an whole entire pandemic where the number one, right, fucking comorbidity for you fucking having a bad fucking COVID problem was obesity. And not once did they say, hey, asshole, go take a walk. Put the fucking Cheetos down. Your government is terrible at providing you food. If they had any type of fucking like good regulations, they would stand here and say, hey man, yeah, we're not going to stand here and feed our people a whole bunch of high fructose corn syrup repeatedly. Like we would stop that immediately, right? Because we have 60% of our population's obese. We barely have a fucking an ability to like bring people into our military because they're too fat. Get the fuck out of here.
That's a problem. That's the government regulating.
Well, then we better get better politicians in them to appoint better people. I mean,
the problem is that you cocksuckers keep putting money behind these politicians that are fucking shitty and don't want to actually change anything because that's what's good for business. Because the stock market is all that matters. Is GDP number go up? You don't give a fuck about the goddamn people. This is half the fucking problem that we're facing right now.
It's not, again, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Right.
Okay, so let's take the SEC or take the Food and Drug Administration, which regulates big pharma.
The SEC is a great agency. It's completely effective, from what everybody has ever seen. I mean, they crack down on random celebrities who are doing pump and dump on crypto schemes, but, allow billionaires to fucking put satellites right next to the goddamn stock exchange so they have first fucking choice on how many fucking stocks they're able to trade every day. But, the SEC is a great agency. It fucking works perfectly, On
the one hand, we've got a very safe supply of drugs in this country, Safe? They're drugs are tested. You don't get too many bad drugs, prescribed drugs.
25% of all drugs approved by the FDA get recalled. To regulate the internet?
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, this dude has never done any research into his opinions whatsoever. And this is the problem with you fucking normies. Like, legit, this is the problem with centrist and normies. They do zero research into shit. Right? And then when guys like us call you the fuck out, and by the way, Joe Rogan did an amazing job here. This is peak Joe Rogan. This is, real shit. This is why we don't give him too much shit, because every once in a while he comes out here and just punches somebody in the fucking mouth. He hit this dude with so many left, he was begging for a right by the end of this fucking clip. And we are real proud of you. Good job, buddy. You know what I'm saying? We're always going to tell you when you do good. Man, listen, I'm Tom Pizza, Peter News. Know the deal. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.